The amount of gun use in this episode was insane. In my opinion, episode 8 was the perfect fluff that we needed to find some relief after so many intense interactions between Kinn and Porsche. This episode was also very imperative to establish a solid foundation of their relationship so that we can experience the angst coming up in the next episode on an even deeper level. Hello lovelies, this is BL Fanrits and I'm back with KinnPorsche episode 8 recap and episode 9 spoilers. Let me begin with episode 8 recap first and then I will move on to the spoilers for the next episode. It's the morning after an intense and emotional confrontation between Kinn and Porsche. They spend the night playing Ludo and wake up in each other's arms. Like a married couple that they are not grossed out by each other's morning breath at all. They are embracing and absorbing every tiny little thing about each other and their eyes are full of love and spent desire. Innocent puppy Pete comes in with the breakfast that contains the now infamous and sold out caramel farmhouse bread. It's funny how during the entire episode Pete is not able to figure out what's going on between Kinn and Porsche. He always sees Porsche in his after sex disheveled and glowy look but somehow always think it's the punishment. I feel like Pete is in for a harsh awakening because his mind seems to be very innocent. And he's a virgin too. In fact, his first ever kiss will be stolen by the sexy psycho Vegas. After Pete is gone, Porsche resumes with maximum twink energy and crawls underneath the covers to seemingly give Kinn a Gok Gok 9000, but alas, it was a piece of caramel farmhouse bread that was loosely hung from Porsche's mouth and glided over to Kinn's mouth. Kinn and Porsche then proceeded to make out with the bread and made us all hungry in the process. In this episode, Kinn and Porsche had decided that they were going to call us single and lonely in 80 different languages. Wearing each other's socks and smiling at each other with eyes brimming with love is giving peak honeymoon energy. Then we get the infamous trailer scene that all of us were waiting to see. It looks like Kinn started the game and Porsche decided to finish it. Porsche is very sassy in bed and loves to tease Kinn. Kinn is provoked by all the rough teasing and playing around by Porsche, making his mind go insane with desire. It's funny how Ken and Big are thinking that Porsche is getting some harsh punishment from Kinn, but in reality he's actually getting egged down by Kinn. I love how they filmed this scene. It could have been extremely stimulating, serious and passionate, but the directors decided to make it comedic yet alluring. It kept up with the whole theme of this episode and didn't look out of place with all the fluff and candy surrounding it. What I mean to say is that the show of passion came across without taking away from the whole love and sweetness aspect of the whole episode. Also, this was me when they shut the door on us and didn't show us the whole shebang. Porsche goes to York's bar where he meets his friends Jom and Tem. In the novel as well, it's shown that Porsche goes to York's bar to talk to York about his confusing feelings for Kinn. In the novel, he talks about how he thought he was straight and ended up falling in love with a man. That conversation in the novel shed light on Porsche's homophobic tendencies even more, but I love how they changed it in the drama. Honestly, the drama is such an upgrade from the book. I like that they are just loosely following the book and not copying every single detail. This is Porsche's first ever relationship and he wants it to be perfect. He wants to go on dates and do everything that normal couples do. I feel like he's thinking about Kinn here too. He wants to date the real Kinn, the Kinn he saw in the forest, and taking him away from the main house and his work and all the people around him will make him feel lighter and free. I love how Jom also catches on to the new Porsche and accepts him and his relationship with Kinn. In the novel, Jom and Tem were really annoying and condescending towards Porsche, pestering him by asking who is top and bottom, who is husband, who is wife and all that crap. But here Jom just says love is love, which is so wholesome and kind. Porsche then does what every girl does, go on Google and find out the most Instagrammable cafes in the city, drag their boyfriend to that cafe and order a bunch of dishes and take perfect shots for Instagram. To get ready for their date, Kinn and Porsche wore each other's outfits, which was so effing cute. I really want to try that, except I'm fatter than my husband and his baggy jeans will fit like leggings on me. But that's my issue. Let's move on to Porsche and Kinn admiring each other's beauty and wondering how in the hell did they get so lucky to find such good-looking other half. Porsche's little head bobbed, and looking up when Kin kissed him showed the absolute joy and ecstasy of being in a loving relationship. They walk out hand in hand, but everyone in the cafe is looking at them. Porsche is conscious and takes his hand away, but confident gay Kin doesn't let Porsche take his hand back and holds his hand tightly, giving that much needed reassurance to Porsche. Honestly, this entire episode, except for Tawan part, felt like they were back in the forest again, just freely loving each other, goofing around, having fun and being happy. This next clip also reminds me so much of my own life. I too get mad at my husband if he starts eating before I finish taking pictures, and looking at this clip I found myself reflecting. Am I that annoying too? I mean, if I was in my husband's shoes, I would have slapped the shit out of anyone who was being annoying while I'm trying to eat. But my husband behaves like Kin here, always accommodating my demands and smiling for the camera, waiting patiently. Honestly, I had a newfound respect for my husband after looking at this scene. But all in all, what I'm trying to convey is that Porsche and Kin are very relatable here. Just common everyday couple, living their life day to day, going on dates, taking pictures, being cute and cuddly. This is one of the reasons I enjoyed this episode so much. It was such a serotonin booster. Kim has called his bodyguard Pig to find out how Porsche's parents died and if his own family had any connection to it. When Kim said that we have lost way too much time with him, I think he's talking about himself and Chay. By falling in love with Chay, Kim has started losing his purpose, and the reason for which he approached Chay is starting to fade, and this new feeling is beginning to surface. Kim wants to find out the truth about his dad and Porsche's mom before he falls in deeper with Chay. That's why he said we are losing time. Porsche is feeling gutted that the date didn't go exactly as he planned, but Kin is extremely satisfied with the date. He's loving every single moment of it. Kin doesn't need big things or grand romantic gestures. He wants little things that bring him joy, like going to cafes with Porsche, taking pictures, looking at cute and childlike Porsche being so excited about everything. On the other hand, this was Porsche's first date, so he wanted everything to be perfect. But when Kin explained to him that this is exactly what he wanted and that the date was amazing, Porsche was happy and relieved. As they were eating their dinner, Porsche caught the first sighting of Kin's ex Tawan. To be honest, I was not expecting Tawan to look so battered. It makes him look even more mysterious and scary. Kin and Porsche are back home. They are romancing each other in every corner of the house and running away from the eyes of the bodyguards, giggling together like two young souls in love. The swimming pool kiss was amazing. It even beats the sea kiss in I Told Sunset About You. I absolutely loved it. They were all over each other in this episode, loving and kissing each other at every chance they got. Honestly, I wanted to see them like this since the forest episode, and I finally got to see it before the entry of Tawan, which was amazing. Porsche and his best friend Pete are chatting when Porsche tells Pete that he will quit smoking. It was such a small detail to add in the show, but it adds so much to his character arc. He is in love now, so he wants to be a better person for Kin. He wants to live a long and fulfilled life with Kin. As Porsche is trying to take a selfie to send Kin, he gets another sighting of Tawan, and it disturbs him. He thinks someone is stalking Kin. Porsche tells Pete that someone is stalking Kin. Pete asks Porsche to describe how he looks. Porsche draws a magnificent sketch of Tawan and shows to Pete. Honestly, I couldn't understand why Pete didn't recognize Tawan from the sketch. He looked exactly like Tawan. In order to find out who the stalker is, Pete and Porsche decide to find an old phone which has all the photos of Kin's ex-lovers. I love how Porsche is looking at the pictures and calling Kin promiscuous and slutty, and then 2 minutes later is ready to be trailed by his slutty boyfriend. Porsche comes back to his room after getting his punishment by Kin. Pete gives some friendly advice to Porsche for dodging Kin's attacks next time. Porsche takes out a photo he found inside a frame of Kin and his ex. Pete confirms that it's Kin's deceased ex Tawan. Porsche now thinks that Tavan's ghost is haunting him. Porsche makes an offering to a Buddhist monk and shares his problem of seeing Tavan's ghost with the monk. The monk gives him an amulet shaped like a penis to ward off evil spirits. Many people were surprised to see the penis-shaped amulet, but being an Indian, I was not surprised at all. This amulet is very common in India and Thailand. It is basically called a palat kick or Lord Shiva's lingam. It is sometimes worn by men around their waist to boost their manhood because it is a symbol of fertility, and also kept in people's homes to ward off evil spirits. It is also kept in people's purses and wallets to bring wealth and luck. Then we see this absolutely adorable scene of Chay trying so hard to make Kim listen to his love song. Kim is trying to avoid Chay because he still doesn't know the truth behind his dad and Chay's parents, but Chay's adorable persistence makes him feel helpless and he melts. Chay sings a beautiful love song for Kim that leaves Kim absolutely speechless. Honestly, Chay is just a little ray of sunshine in this whole show. It just makes me so happy to see his innocent love for Kim. Don't ask me why, but I listen to the kid kid tuck tuck part of the song again and again. Also, I was thinking Chay has come to visit his brother Porsche's workplace and he couldn't even meet him. How sad is that? After knowing that Tawan's ghost is following him, the already afraid Porsche is even more terrified. He doesn't want to spend the night alone in his room, so he requests Pete to let him join the movie party with Tanakun. Porsche is ruining everyone's movie watching experience by screaming at the wrong times, so Tanakun kicks him out. Porsche reluctantly returns to his room, but every little sound is scaring him and he's afraid that Tawan's ghost will come out any minute. Porsche calls Kinn and asks him to come to his room on the pretense that he's alone and they could enjoy some smexy time, but Kinn hangs up the phone. Porsche is getting more and more scared as the night goes on when suddenly someone calls out for Porsche. Porsche throws the amulet in that direction, but it lands in Kinn's mouth. That whole scene was hilarious. I mean, how did Kinn not choke on that amulet? I mean, the way it landed in his throat, it felt like he would choke and gag on it. But thankfully, nothing like that happened. Kinn and Porsche are in Kinn's room now. Porsche is leisurely resting his legs on Kinn, which is another little detail that shows how comfortable they are with each other now and how deep their relationship has gotten. It's the first time Kinn and Porsche are communicating properly like boyfriends, and Porsche tells Kinn that Tawan's ghost is haunting Porsche because he's jealous that they are in love. Please nobody leave a comment saying that Kinn has not said the L word to Porsche yet, while Porsche has mentioned it twice. Kinn is not the type of person who says I love you. He's the type of person who will take a bullet for the person he loves. So don't even start with that line of thinking that it's one-sided from Porsche. Kinn loves Porsche deeply, but his love language is acts of service, and he shows it by his actions rather than words. Kinn would never cry for the person he doesn't love. His arrogant ass will never apologize to a person he doesn't love. So people saying that he hasn't said the L word yet need to take all those things into consideration first. Kinn tells Porsche about his relationship with Tawan and how he had to shoot him because he was a traitor. I feel like Kinn is hiding something here. He didn't shoot Tawan or he wouldn't have been alive right now and stalking them. Kinn is someone who will do a thorough job killing someone, so it's not possible that he shot Tawan and he still lived somehow. Kinn truly loved Tawan, so he couldn't have shot him. Porsche asks Kinn if he still has feelings for Tawan. If not, why did he keep his photo with him? Kinn said he kept it as a reminder of his betrayal and he did have some lingering feelings for Tawan back then. So Porsche asks Kinn, what about now? Kinn replied he forgot about him completely. Then he crumpled the photo and threw it. I feel like Kinn is completely over Tawan at this point. He's much more happier with Porsche and he can fully trust him. Porsche has nothing to worry about when it comes to Tawan. The next scene is Porsche and Kinn making merit to the monk. Anybody notice how the monk's assistant Joe was ogling Kinn and getting shy the entire time? I thought it was so hilarious. He couldn't stop staring at handsome Kinn. As they were making merit, Kinn spots Tawan and the episode ends. Another amazing episode. I enjoyed all the fluff. I felt like this episode was so important to establish their relationship and show their sexual and emotional dynamics. Now I'm ready for all the angst that's coming up in the next episode. And the pool scene, of course. I definitely missed seeing Vegas in this episode as he's one of the highlights of every episode. But we are getting closer and closer to the beginning of Vegas and Pete's story. As soon as Tawan's motives come to light, Pete will be captured by Vegas. So I'm hoping their story will start either at the end of next episode or the beginning of episode 10. So with that said, let's begin with the spoilers for episode 9. As I said earlier as well, I include these spoilers because it's fun to see how different or similar the episode might be from the novel. We have been seeing that they have very loosely adapted the novel, so please don't expect that the spoilers will be 100% exactly like the episode. After Kin and Porsche find Tawan, Tawan explains the reason for his return. I'm not sure what the reason is as it's not mentioned in the novel. Porsche notices that there is a slight change in Kin's behavior. He seems to be aloof and deep in his thoughts. Porsche is disturbed by Kin's behavior. He's on an errand outside when his bike or car breaks down. Luckily, Vegas is there. He apologizes for that night and says that he will never do such a thing to Porsche again. He wants to take Porsche home. Porsche is reluctant to go with him, but Vegas convinces him with his eerie charm. Vegas drops Porsche home and asks for his phone number. Porsche asks him how does he know that he has a phone. Vegas says that he knows everything about the person he likes. Porsche goes to Kin's room. Kin is standing by a window. He says, "Where did you go with Vegas?" Porsche explains that his car broke down. Kin is a little upset, but he's not aggressively angry at Porsche like he used to be before. Porsche is a little disappointed that Kin didn't behave like the way he used to. Tawan will try to get close to Kin again, but it won't work. Kin is already over him and also angry at him, but Tawan will keep pestering Kin. Tawan cries in front of Kin and begs to take him back, but nothing is working on Kin. Tawan riles Porsche up by telling him that he's not good enough for Kin and that Kin is still in love with Tawan. Tawan creates some misunderstandings between Porsche and Kin, which makes them fight with each other and they end up not talking to each other. Seeing that Porsche and Kin are on bad terms, Vegas makes his move and gets friendly with Porsche. Porsche also lets Vegas comfort him. Kin sees Porsche and Vegas together again and it boils his blood. Kin drags Porsche out of there and they get into a huge fight and break up. Kin is very upset about it and gets heavily drunk to the point of passing out. Bodyguard Big takes Kin to his room and while he was passed out, Big confesses to him and tries to kiss him and do other things. Kin is so out of it that he thinks it's Porsche, so he doesn't resist, but he's still feeling weird and not getting the same feeling. He tries to stop Big, but he's too drunk. Luckily, Tawan sees that Big is assaulting Kin and beats the shit out of him. Tawan calls Kin in his office and tells him that Vegas and the second family are involved in taking some company documents and passing them on to the competitors, and Vegas has been doing this since a long time. Porsche has lately been close to Vegas, so Tawan is doubting that Porsche could be helping Vegas leak company documents. Kin is completely heartbroken at this point. He trusts Porsche, but whatever his dad is saying is hard to hear. Kim, Tawan and Kin are busy finding out all the information about the infiltrator. They want to know who is giving all the information to Vegas and the second family. As they are finding the information, Porsche calls Kin that Chay has been kidnapped. I feel like this is where the next episode will end. I don't know where they will include the pool scene in episode 9 with all the angst and fighting going around, but I'm looking forward to the next episode as it's going to be action-packed. As always, if you liked today's video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in my next video very soon. Bye!